Good afternoon and welcome inside 12th Man Studios for another edition of Higgins Hindsights. I'm Jacob Ersky, he's head coach JT Higgins, and we're also joined today by sophomore golfer Andrew Pacey. Guys, fresh off a third place finish at the Valspar Collegiate. Coach, we'll start with you. Can you talk about that finish? You equated it to being a championship-like golf course, the way it was set up. Can you elaborate on that?
Everything about it's a championship. First of all, the Floridian golf course is just an amazing venue. The greens were firm and fast. The pin locations were very difficult, tough to get a ball back to it. The wind was blowing, made it really tough. And then when you throw in the field of teams that were there, I think there was 11 top 25 teams. It definitely had a championship feel, and it was fun to be in the mix with that and competing with those teams. It was really cool. It was probably the best event of the year that we've been to so far.
Coach, let's talk about that team performance, a third place finish, and then you almost had an individual champion for the second consecutive year, Chandler Phillips, finishing second in a playoff. Can you talk about your performance as a team, and then Chandler Phillips with that great individual performance?
Yeah, the team performance was fantastic. I think that we beat 3 or 4 teams in the top 10. We beat a bunch of teams in the top 25, and then and individually, all the guys showed up. Everybody except for Chandler had some bad moments, but everyone recovered, and we ham and egged it pretty good. When one guy had his poor round, the other 4 played well, and they picked each other up. So that's the mark of a great team. It's a team that can compete week in and week out if you don't have 2 or 3 guys playing bad at the same time, which is what we've kind of been striving towards and working for. So that's been fun to see. Chandler's performance, just can't say enough about the guy. We call him the little fella, and he's the smallest guy on the team. He led the field in par 5 scoring. Ball was in play the whole time. He had 1 penalty shot on a golf course that has hazards everywhere, and he putted and chipped like a demon. Just fantastic showing in those windy and tough conditions. I think most people would have looked at him and said that wasn't a great setup for him because it was going to play so long. Most of the longer holes were playing into the wind, made him even longer, and he just handled it great. He put his ball in the right position, gave himself an opportunity to score, and it was fun to see. He was heartbroken, losing. The winner of that tournament gets an exemption into the Valspar PGA Tour event, which Greg played in a couple weeks ago. Greg Yates, who won it last year, and got 24th place. So really helped his pocketbook a little bit, and some great experience for him. And it'd have been nice to see Chandler get that, but he was this close, and he gave it a great run, but lost in a playoff hole.
Well, the little fellow, you said, he had a big performance.
Yeah.
I looked at the stats. Two of his rounds out of the 3 were below par. Only 10% of the rounds in that tournament were below par. And then that was his 4th top 10 finish in the last 6 events. He didn't have the best performance in Myrtle Beach, but leading into this tournament, what did you and Coach Corton tell the kid? Because he came out just on fire.
It was a chance. I think he got a chance to regroup a little bit. We'd been going so hard, and we finally got to come home and qualify and get some practice in over the spring break. Not have to go to class, I think, probably helped him a little bit too. That he got a little time to sleep in and relax, and just kind of get back on track. Everyone needs that. It's been a grind up to this point, and now everything's going to break into a more normal routine, where we'll play a tournament that have 10 days to 2 weeks off, and then have another tournament. And so that we've kind of been building towards that all season, and I think you'll start seeing some great play out of all our guys getting that rest in between the events.
Andrew, for you, it was your first tournament in a while. That were you in the 5-person rotation. How good did it feel to be back in that 5-person rotation?
It felt great. I mean, that's what I've been working for when I've stayed home the past couple trips. It's just to find a way to get in that lineup. And even though I've made individual spots in some tournaments here and there and played well, in some parts of my game, I feel like my game's just now getting ready for this time of the year, and it felt good to go on this trip and have a few good rounds for the team.
Finished top half, 36th overall. In fact, after the first round for A&M, you led the team individually. How would you grade your performance? How did you feel your first tournament back?
That first round was good. I had it going there for a little bit. I feel like my game suits the wind pretty well. I have a pretty good knockdown shot, so I was really pleased with my first round, and to start the second round, I chipped in for birdie on a pretty tough par 3. So, through 19 holes, I was 1 under par. It'd have been nice to finish out better that day, but I was pleased to play the way I did the first day.
Coach, this third place finish with the field that was at the Valspar Collegiate, with the exception of the tournament y'all won back in Arizona, would it be safe to say that this was y'all's best tournament all year?
I think so. You know, we've played really well all spring. You know, even in Myrtle Beach, finishing 6th, that was really the result of one bad hole. You know, the very last hole finishing up, played 5 over. Otherwise, we're a top 5 finish there as well. So I just think we'll keep getting better. You know, that's the exciting thing. You know, you look at Andrew, his game has come so far just since the fall. He's become a great putter. His wedge game's gotten better. His driving ability's gotten better. It's just fun to watch these guys. They just keep, every week just add something more to it. You know, they get a little bit more confident, a little bit stronger in their games, and you know, that's what we want to be. We want to be the best team in May. You know, we were saying that back in September when all this got started, that the goal was May, and we're getting there. You know, it's I think they're learning that they are talented enough and good enough to compete with anybody in the country, and they just keep showing with the results. So yeah, it was a great performance, and but the good thing is, when in golf, you know, you finish 3rd, that shows you there's still some work to do. There was 2 teams ahead of us, and we got to figure out a way to reel them in.
One final tune-up before the SEC tournament. One of the teams that did finish ahead of y'all was LSU. They'll be at Sea Island, Georgia in a couple of weeks. But this final tune-up right down the road here in College Station at Traditions Golf Club, the Aggie Invitational. Can you talk about that tournament a little bit, looking ahead, and talk about the field and who's going to be coming to College Station?
Yeah, the Aggie Invitational is one of the best tournaments in college golf. We attract a great field that's played on, you know, Traditions. Most of the teams that come here like it because Traditions is going to prepare them for what they're going to see in the postseason. Really difficult test of golf, tough conditions. Usually the wind blows here in the springtime. Could get a little rain early April. So they know all of those things factor in. So we get a great field in. LSU's defending national champions. They're coming. Arkansas is a top 25 team. A lot of the old Big 12 foes, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Baylor, Texas Tech. It is just a really strong field, top to bottom, and it's fun to play on our home golf course. We usually get pretty good crowds out. We might be going up against the basketball team in the Final Four.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
They're doing pretty good too. So I understand if people want to come watch a little golf in the morning, then head to Houston and catch the game. You know, that's okay too. So no, we're excited for everyone. You know, the whole athletic department having such great success. It's been fun.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it. Best of luck in this final tournament, and then best of luck moving forward.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it, Jake.
And that'll wrap up this edition of Higgins Hindsights for head coach JT Higgins and sophomore golfer Andrew Pacey. I'm Jacob Ersky saying so long from 12th Man Studio.